Hello everyone. Welcome to Cloud Exam Prep. In today's video, we'll be diving into some 2023 newest practice questions for the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam. Whether you're just starting your cloud certification journey or looking to fine-tune your knowledge, you're in the right place. Our goal is to provide you with detailed explanations and practical examples that will boost your understanding of crucial exam topics. By the end of this video, you'll gain a solid grasp of key AWS concepts and be better prepared to tackle similar questions in your AWS Certified Solutions Architect exam. Let's directly jump into the questions. Question 1. Which of the following is a recommended design principle of the AWS well-architected framework? A. Reduce downtime by making infrastructure changes infrequently and in large increments. B. Invest the time to configure infrastructure manually. C. Learn to improve from operational failures. D. Use monolithic application design for centralization. So the correct answer is C. Learn to improve from operational failures, which means drive improvement through lessons learned from all operational events and failures. Share what is learned across teams and through the entire organization. Question 2. Which AWS service could an administrator use to provide desktop environments for several employees? A. AWS Organizations. B. AWS Fargate. C. AWS WAF. D. AWS Workspaces. The correct answer is D. AWS Workspaces. Let's take a look at other options why they are incorrect. AWS Organizations provide central governance and management for multiple accounts. Fargate is a way to build and run applications without having to manage infrastructure. Fargate is considered serverless. WAF provides built-in engines to protect web applications from common web exploits such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting. Question 3. According to the AWS Shared Responsibility Model, which of the following are AWS responsibilities? Choose 2. A. Network infrastructure and virtualization of infrastructure. B. Security of application data. C. Guest operating systems. D. Physical security of hardware. E. Credentials and policies. The answer is A. Network infrastructure and virtualization of infrastructure. And D. Physical security of hardware. All the other options are the of users' responsibilities. Question 4. A company moves its infrastructure from on-premises to the AWS cloud. The company can now provision additional Amazon EC2 instances whenever the instances are required. With this ability, the company can launch new marketing campaigns in 3 days instead of 3 weeks. Which benefit of the AWS cloud does this scenario demonstrate? A. Cost savings. B. Improved operational resilience. C. Increased business agility. D. Enhanced security. The correct answer is C. Increased business agility. Which means that you reduce the time to make those resources available. Question 5. A company wants to deploy a Docker application to the AWS cloud. However, the company does not want to manage the underlying servers. Which combination of AWS services should the company use to meet these requirements? Choose 2. A. Amazon EC2. B. Amazon EC2 auto-scaling. C. AWS Elastic Beanstalk. D. Amazon CloudFront. E. AWS Fargate. Correct answer is C. AWS Elastic Beanstalk. And E. AWS Fargate. Elastic Beanstalk will automatically handle the deployment details of capacity provisioning, load balancing, and automatic scaling of your application. And Fargate is a way to build and run applications without having to manage infrastructure. Question 6. A company needs to transfer 60 terabytes of data to the AWS cloud in a secure manner. Which of the following should the company use to meet these requirements? A. AWS Snowball Edge Device. B. Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. C. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. D. Amazon S3. The answer is A. AWS Snowball Edge Device, which transfers a large amount of data securely and efficiently into and out of AWS. It comes with up to 80 terabytes of storage capacity. Let's check other options. Amazon Elastic Block Store, EBS, is a block storage service for Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, EC2, instances. Amazon Elastic File System allows you to create and configure file systems that are accessible to multiple instances, making it easy to share data across instances and applications. With EFS, you can scale your storage up or down as needed, and pay only for the storage you use. Amazon S3 is an object storage service that offers industry-leading scalability, data availability, security, and performance. Question 7. A gaming company wants to move its on-premises environment to AWS. The company needs its resources to be highly available. Which benefit does the AWS cloud provide to meet this requirement? A. Reliability. B. The AWS Shared Responsibility Model. C. Security. D. Agility. The answer is A. Reliability, which is the benefit that AWS provides to meet the gaming company's requirement for highly available resources. AWS offers a range of tools and services that can be used to design and deploy highly available and fault-tolerant architectures, such as multi-availability zone deployments, load balancing, auto-scaling, and backup and recovery solutions. Question 8. An e-commerce company has been monitoring usage of its online store that is hosted on a fleet of Amazon EC2 instances. Surges in traffic occur every weekend day at the same time and last for approximately 4 hours. Which AWS service should the company use to ensure that there are enough instances to meet the surges in demand? A. AWS Lambda. B. Amazon EventBridge, Amazon CloudWatch Events. C. Elastic Load Balancing, ELB. D. Amazon EC2 Auto Scaling. The answer is D. Amazon EC2 Auto Scaling, which is a service that enables the company to automatically scale the number of Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, EC2, instances in its application up or down, in response to changes in demand. The company can use auto-scaling to ensure that there are enough instances to handle the surges in traffic that occur every weekend. Question 9. A company needs stateless network filtering for its VPC. Which AWS service, tool, or feature will meet this requirement? A. AWS Private Link. B. Security Group. C. Network Access Control List, ACL. D. AWS WAF. The answer is C. Network Access Control List, ACL. Which means that responses to allowed inbound traffic are subject to the rules for outbound traffic, and vice versa. Question 10. A company needs to audit its AWS resources. The company must document any changes that have been made to the resources. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? A. AWS Artifact. B. AWS Config. C. Amazon Inspector. D. Amazon CloudWatch. The answer is B. AWS Config, which is a service that allows you to track changes made to your AWS resources and to determine the current configuration of your resources. It provides an inventory of your resources, and it continuously monitors and records configuration changes made to these resources. Question 11. A company needs fully managed, highly reliable, and scalable file storage that is accessible over the Server Message Block, SMB, protocol. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? A. Amazon S3. B. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. C. Amazon FSx for Windows File Server. D. Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. The answer is C. Amazon FSx for Windows File Server, which is the AWS service that meets the requirements of fully managed, highly reliable, and scalable file storage that is accessible over the Server Message Block (SMB) protocol. Question 12. Which AWS service should a company use to create a NoSQL database? A. Amazon Aurora. B. Amazon DynamoDB. C. Amazon Redshift. D. Amazon Neptune. The answer is B. Amazon DynamoDB, which is a fully managed NoSQL database service that is designed to provide fast and predictable performance with seamless scalability. It is a good choice for companies looking to create a NoSQL database in AWS. Question 13. A company is migrating to the AWS cloud. The company requires consultative review and guidance for its applications during the migration. After the migration is complete, the company requires a response within 30 minutes if business-critical systems go down. Which AWS support plans meet these requirements? Choose 2. A. AWS Enterprise Support. B. AWS Enterprise On-Ramp Support. C. AWS Developer Support. D. AWS Basic Support. E. AWS Business Support. The answer is A. AWS Enterprise Support. And B. AWS Enterprise On-Ramp Support. The keywords consultative review and guidance and critical system support only apply to Enterprise On-Ramp and Enterprise Support. Question 14. A company needs an AWS support plan that provides programmatic case management through the AWS Support API. Which support plan will meet this requirement most cost-effectively? A. AWS Business Support. B. AWS Basic Support. C. AWS Developer Support. D. AWS Enterprise Support. The answer is A. AWS Business Support. Programmatic case management through the AWS Support API is supported by Business Support, Enterprise Support and Enterprise On-Ramp. But of all the three support, Business Support is the most cost-effective. Question 15. A company that operates in the AWS cloud wants to test workloads and team responses to simulated events. The company will conduct an exercise to identify potential issues that need to be addressed. Which design principle of the AWS well-architected framework does this exercise represent? A. Anticipate failure. B. Automatically recover from failure. C. Measure overall cost efficiency. D. Implement loosely coupled dependencies. The correct answer is A. Anticipate failure, which anticipate failure, perform pre-mortem exercises to identify potential sources of failure so that they can be removed or mitigated. Test your failure scenarios and validate your understanding of their impact. Test your response procedures to verify that they are effective, and that teams are familiar with their process. Set up regular game days to test workloads and team responses to simulated events. Question 16. Which AWS services provide high availability across multiple availability zones by default? Choose 2. A. Amazon EC2. B. Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. C. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. D. Amazon Redshift. E. Amazon S3. The correct answer is C and E. Amazon Elastic File System and Amazon S3 are both designed to provide high availability and durability by default. Amazon EFS automatically stores data across multiple availability zones within a region to provide high availability and durability, while Amazon S3 stores data across multiple facilities and multiple devices within those facilities to provide high availability and durability. Question 17. A company needs to perform queries and interactively search and analyze log data. Which AWS service or feature will meet this requirement? A. Amazon Event Bridge, Amazon CloudWatch Events. B. Amazon CloudWatch Anomaly Detection. C. Amazon CloudWatch Logs Insights. D. Amazon CloudWatch Log Streams. The correct answer is C. Amazon CloudWatch Logs Insights. So what's the difference between CloudWatch Logs Insights and Log Streams? CloudWatch Logs Insights analyze and search data in real time. CloudWatch Log Stream, real-time process, monitor, alert and notification. Question 18. A company has an on-premises Oracle database. The company spends a significant amount of time on database administration activities. The company is moving the database to AWS and needs to minimize the time that is required for those administration activities. Which AWS service should the company use to meet this requirement? A. Amazon Elasticache. B. Amazon EC2. C. Amazon RDS. D. Amazon DynamoDB. The answer is C. Amazon RDS is a fully managed service that automates time-consuming administration tasks, such as hardware provisioning, software patching, setup, configuration, and backups. By using Amazon RDS, the company can minimize the time required for administration activities and focus on the core business activities. Question 19. A company is running an Amazon EC2 instance in a VPC. Which of the following can the company use to route and filter incoming network requests for the EC2 instance? A. Route tables and web application firewalls. B. Security groups and route tables. C. Security groups and a network intrusion system. D. Route tables and AWS Shield. The answer is B. Security groups and route tables. Security groups is related to instances and route tables to redirect traffic. Question 20. A company plans to migrate its custom marketing application and order processing application to AWS. The company needs to deploy the applications on different types of instances with various configurations of CPU, memory, storage, and networking capacity. Which AWS service should the company use to meet these requirements? A. AWS Lambda. B. Amazon Cognito. C. Amazon Athena. D. Amazon EC2. The answer is D. Amazon EC2. Question 21. A company wants to set up a domain name system, DNS, record for its application with a failover routing policy that is based on health checks. Which AWS service or resource should the company use to achieve this goal? A. Amazon Connect. B. Application Load Balancer. C. Amazon Route 53. D. AWS WAF. The answer is C. Amazon Route 53. Amazon Route 53 does majorly two things. It allows you to redirect/route end users of Internet to web applications by translating domain names to IP addresses. It has ability to reroute users to other IP addresses in cases of failure of the current IP address. Question 22. Which of the following are AWS best practice recommendations for the use of AWS Identity and Access Management, IAM? Choose 2. A. Use the AWS account root user toward daily access. B. Use access keys and secret access keys on Amazon EC2. C. Rotate credentials on a regular basis. D. Create a shared set of access keys for system administrators. E. Configure multi-factor authentication, MFA. The answer is C. Rotate credentials on a regular basis. And E. Configure multi-factor authentication, MFA. AWS recommends rotating credentials, access keys, passwords, and access tokens every 90 days. This helps to ensure that even if a set of credentials is compromised, An attacker will only have access for a limited period of time. Configure multi-factor authentication enables multi-factor authentication, MFA, for privileged users and roles can help to protect against unauthorized access, even if a user's password or access keys are compromised. Question 23. A company needs to store code in a version control system. The company also needs to continually deploy updated code through a series of automated steps: build, test, package, and deploy. Which combination of AWS services will meet these requirements? Choose 2. A. AWS CloudFormation. B. AWS Code Commit. C. AWS Control Tower. D. AWS Elastic Beanstalk. E. AWS Code Pipeline. The answer is B. AWS Code Commit and E. AWS Code Pipeline. AWS Code Commit is a fully managed source control service that allows companies to store their code securely, while providing integrated security, access control, and collaboration features. AWS Code Pipeline is a continuous delivery service that automates the building, testing, and deployment of code changes to any application or infrastructure on AWS. It works in conjunction with AWS Code Commit and other AWS services to provide a fully automated CI/CD pipeline. Question 24. An e-commerce company has deployed a new web application on Amazon EC2 instances. The company wants to distribute incoming HTTP traffic evenly across all running instances. Which AWS service or resource will meet this requirement? A. Amazon EC2 Auto Scaling. B. Application Load Balancer. C. Gateway Load Balancer. D. Network Load Balancer. The answer is B. Application Load Balancer. IT routes and load balances at the application layer, HTTP/HTTPS, and supports path-based routing. An application load balancer can route requests to ports on one or more registered targets, such as EC2 instances, in your virtual private cloud, VPC. Question 25. Which of the following are advantages of moving from on-premises to the AWS cloud? Choose 2. A. Trade variable expenses for capital expenses. B. Eliminate costs related to running and maintaining data centers. C. Benefit from massive economies of scale. D. Eliminate the need to tram IT staff. E. GAM the ability to reserve capacity for 7 years or more. The answer is B and C. The answer is B and C. The answer is C. Amazon ElastiCache is an in-memory data store that is designed to improve the performance of web applications and other I/O-intensive workloads. By using ElastiCache, the company can reduce the number of read requests to the Amazon RDS database, thereby improving its performance. Question 27. Which AWS service provides automated backups of data by default? A. Amazon S3. B. Amazon Aurora. C. Amazon ElastiCache for Memcached. D. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. The answer is B. Amazon Aurora provides automated backups of data by default. When you create an Aurora DB cluster, the service automatically creates one or more automated backups of the DB cluster, known as a backup window. These backups are stored in Amazon S3 and are retained according to your specified retention period. Question 28. Which AWS service is a fully hosted version control service? A. AWS Code Commit. B. AWS Code Build. C. AWS Code Deploy. D. AWS Code Star. The answer is A. Question 29. A company is using Amazon RDS. Which task is the company's responsibility, according to the AWS Shared Responsibility Model? A. Apply encryption options for the database. B. Manage the underlying server hardware on which Amazon RDS runs. C. Apply patches to the underlying operating system. D. Apply minor patches to the database. The answer is A. Apply encryption options for the database. According to the AWS Shared Responsibility Model, AWS is responsible for the security of the cloud infrastructure, while customers are responsible for the security in the cloud, which includes securing their applications, data, and operating systems. Applying encryption options for the database is the responsibility of the company, as it is related to securing the data. The other options are the responsibility of AWS. Question 30. A company recently created its first AWS account. Which AWS services will require the use of a VPC? Choose 2. A. Amazon S3. B. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. C. Amazon Cognito. D. Amazon DynamoDB. E. Amazon EC2. The answer is B and E. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, Amazon EC2, is a web service that provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. Instances of EC2 are launched in a VPC. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS, provides a simple, scalable, fully managed elastic NFS file system that can be used with AWS cloud services and on-premises resources. Amazon EFS is a regional service that supports VPCs. Question 31. A user has an AWS account with a business-level AWS support plan and needs assistance with handling a production service disruption. Which action should the user take? A. Contact the dedicated AWS Technical Account Manager, TAM. B. Contact the dedicated AWS Concierge Support Team. C. Open a business-critical system down support case. D. Open a production system down support case. The answer is D. Open a production system down support case. Question 32. A company is using Amazon EC2 instances. Which tasks are the company's responsibility, according to the AWS Shared Responsibility Model? Choose 2. A. Maintain the network infrastructure. B. Patch the guest operating system. C. Configure a security group on deployed EC2 instances. D. Provide physical security for the underlying hardware of the EC2 instances. E. Manage the underlying hypervisor. The answer is B and C. Question 33. Which of the following does Amazon CloudFront use to distribute content to users around the world? A. Amazon VPC. B. AWS Local Zones. C. Edge Locations. D. Availability Zones. The answer is C. Amazon CloudFront is a content delivery network, CDN, that uses a global network of edge locations to distribute content to users around the world. When a user requests content that is served by CloudFront, the request is routed to the nearest edge location, where the content is delivered to the user with low latency. Question 34. Which pillar of the AWS well-architected framework includes the continual improvement of processes and procedures as a priority? A. Cost optimization. B. Reliability. C. Performance efficiency. D. Operational excellence. The answer is D. Refine operations procedures frequently is operational excellence. Question 35. Which of the following consists of one or more isolated data centers in the same regional area that are interconnected through low-latency networks? A. Availability zone. B. Edge location. C. AWS region. D. Private networking. The answer is A. An availability zone is one or more discrete data centers with redundant power, networking, and connectivity in an AWS region. All availability zone in an AWS region are interconnected with high bandwidth, low latency networking. Question 36. Which AWS service or resource helps on-premises applications connect to AWS cloud-based storage and caches the data locally for low-latency access? A. AWS Direct Connect. B. AWS Storage Gateway. C. Amazon S3. D. AWS Snowball Edge. The answer is B. AWS Storage Gateway is an AWS service that connects on-premises applications to cloud-based storage. It enables hybrid storage by caching frequently accessed data locally for low-latency access while asynchronously backing up data to Amazon S3 or Amazon Glacier for durable off-site storage. It can work in 3 modes: file, volume, and tape. On the other hand, A seems to be a valid option, but AWS Direct Connect is a service that allows you to establish a dedicated network connection from your on-premises data centers to AWS. Amazon S3 is an object storage service that allows you to store, retrieve, and manage large amounts of data in the cloud. AWS Snowball Edge is a data transfer device that can be used to transfer large amounts of data into and out of AWS. Question 37. Which AWS service or feature enables users to get one bill and easily track charges for multiple AWS accounts? A. AWS Organizations. B. Cost Explorer. C. AWS Trusted Advisor. D. AWS Management Console. The answer is A. AWS Organizations. Question 38. A company has a global website with static content. Which AWS service will deliver the static content with low latency? A. AWS Lambda. B. Amazon CloudFront. C. Amazon EC2 Auto Scaling. D. AWS Compute Optimizer. The answer is B. Amazon CloudFront is a content delivery network, CDN, service that caches content at edge locations around the world, which helps to reduce latency by serving content from the edge location closest to the user. Question 39. Which AWS service provides alerts when an AWS event may impact a company's AWS resources? A. AWS Personal Health Dashboard. B. AWS Service Health Dashboard. C. AWS Trusted Advisor. D. AWS Infrastructure Event Management. The answer is A. AWS Service Health Dashboard alerts when an AWS event may impact a company's AWS resources. Question 40. A company manages an on-premises MySQL database on a Windows server. The company wants to migrate the database to AWS and needs a solution that will reduce the administrative overhead of the database. Which AWS service will meet this requirement? A. Amazon Redshift. B. Amazon Elasticache. C. Amazon RDS. D. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. The answer is C. RDS is a service that makes it easy to launch and manage relational databases. Question 41. Which AWS service can be used to provide an on-demand, cloud-based contact center? A. AWS Direct Connect. B. Amazon Connect. C. AWS Support Center. D. AWS Managed Services. The answer is B. Amazon Connect is an AWS service that provides an on-demand, cloud-based contact center that enables businesses to provide high-quality customer service at a lower cost than traditional contact center solutions. It is a fully managed service that can scale up or down to meet changing business needs, and it provides features such as automatic call distribution, call recording, and analytics. Question 42. Which benefit of cloud computing gives a company the ability to deploy applications to users all over the world through a network of AWS regions, availability zones, and edge locations? A. Economy of scale. B. Global reach. C. Agility. D. High availability. The answer is B. One of the benefits of cloud computing is global reach, which allows a company to deploy applications to users all over the world through a network of AWS regions, availability zones, and edge locations. This enables companies to reach a global customer base and respond to market demands quickly and cost-effectively. Question 43. Which AWS service is a relational database compatible with MySQL and PostgreSQL? A. Amazon Redshift. B. Amazon DynamoDB. C. Amazon Aurora. D. Amazon Neptune. The answer is C. Amazon Aurora is a relational database service that is compatible with both MySQL and PostgreSQL. It is designed to be highly available, scalable, and fault-tolerant, with features such as automatic failover and self-healing storage. Aurora provides an additional security layer by encrypting data in transit and at rest, and it can handle up to 64 terabytes of data per database. Question 44. A company uses a database that has a simple sign-up page to create users, and a basic login form to authenticate users so they can access the database. The company wants to give users the ability to store personal information. But user access must be controlled in a more secure and reliable way. Which AWS service or feature will meet these requirements? A. Security groups. B. Amazon Guard Duty. C. AWS Secrets Manager. D. Amazon Cognito. The answer is D. Amazon Cognito is an identity management service that allows users to sign up and sign into applications, as well as control access to application resources. It provides user authentication, authorization, and user management, along with support for social identity providers such as Facebook, Google, and Amazon. Question 45. A company is running multiple workloads in the AWS cloud and recently began investigating ways to reduce costs. The company is already running fault-tolerant workloads on Amazon EC2 that perform periodic checkpoints in case of an outage. Which AWS service or pricing model can provide the greatest cost savings? A. Capacity reservations. B. Amazon Light Sale. C. Spot instances. D. Dedicated hosts. The answer is C. Spot instances is an AWS pricing model that enables customers to bid on spare Amazon EC2 capacity and potentially save up to 90% on the cost of running their workloads. Spot instances are ideal for workloads that can be interrupted, such as big data, containers, CI/CD, and batch processing. These workloads can take advantage of the low cost and high availability of spot instances. Question 46. A company is undergoing a security audit. The audit includes security validation and compliance validation of the AWS infrastructure and services that the company uses. The auditor needs to locate compliance-related information and must download AWS security and compliance documents. These documents include the System and Organization Control (SOC) reports. Which AWS service or group can provide these documents? A. AWS Abuse Team. B. AWS Artifact. C. AWS Support. D. AWS Config. The answer is B. AWS Artifact. Artifact offers on-demand access to AWS security and compliance reports. Central repository for compliance reports from third-party auditors. And Service Organization Controls, SOC, reports. Question 47. Which of the following are design principles of the reliability pillar of the AWS well-architected framework? Choose 2. A. Perform operations as code. B. Stop guessing capacity. C. Adopt serverless architecture whenever possible. D. Use build and deployment management systems. E. Make changes to infrastructure by using automation. The answer is B and E. Design principles that support the reliability pillar are: reliability. Automatically recover from failure. Test recovery procedures. Scale horizontally to increase aggregate workload availability. Stop guessing capacity and manage change in automation. Question 48. A company needs to perform data processing once a week that typically takes about 5 hours to complete. Which AWS service should the company use for this workload? A. AWS Lambda. B. Amazon EC2. C. AWS Code Deploy. D. AWS Wavelength. The answer is B. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, EC2, is a service that provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. It is a good fit for workloads that require a significant amount of processing power, such as data processing. With EC2, the company can easily launch virtual machines with the required resources to complete the data processing within the 5 hours window. Question 49. A company is developing a new web application. The company must give users the ability to log into the application through social identity providers. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? A. AWS Directory Service. B. Amazon Cognito. C. AWS Identity and Access Management, IAM. D. AWS Single Sign-On. The answer is B. Amazon Cognito is the AWS service that allows users to log into a web application through social identity providers such as Google, Facebook, and Amazon. It also enables user authentication and access control for your application. Question 50. Which service is an AWS in-memory data store service? A. Amazon Aurora. B. Amazon RDS. C. Amazon DynamoDB. D. Amazon ElastiCache. The answer is D. Amazon ElastiCache is a fully managed in-memory data store compatible with Redis or Memcached. Question 51. Which duty is a responsibility of AWS under the AWS Shared Responsibility Model? A. Identity and Access Management. B. Server-side encryption, SSE. C. Firewall configuration. D. Maintaining physical hardware. The correct answer is D. Maintaining physical hardware. Question 52. Which guidelines are key AWS architectural design principles? Choose 2. A. Design for fixed resources. B. Build scalable architectures. C. Use tightly coupled components. D. Use managed services when possible. E. Design for human interaction. The correct answer is B and D. AWS architectural design principles encourage to design of scalable architectures that can automatically adjust to the changing load. This can be achieved by using managed services. Additionally, it's recommended to use managed services when possible to take advantage of the benefits of AWS, including automatic scaling, patching, and backups. Question 53. A company is planning to build a workload in the AWS cloud. The company needs to estimate the costs of the network, compute, storage, and database for the workload. Which AWS service or tool should the company use to generate this estimate? A. AWS Budgets. B. AWS Organizations. C. Cost Explorer. D. AWS Pricing Calculator. The correct answer is D. AWS Pricing Calculator. Question 54. A user is a new AWS account owner who has no special access requirements. What should this user do with the AWS account root user access keys? A. Share the keys with all relevant internal users so that those users can programmatically access AWS services. B. Post the keys on GitHub to provide development teams with access to AWS services. C. Use the keys for access, but do not share the keys with anyone. D. Delete the keys and create IAM users. The correct answer is D. The AWS account root user has unrestricted access to all resources in the account, which makes it a security risk to use the root user access keys for day-to-day operations. Creating IAM users is a best practice to provide appropriate levels of access to AWS services while maintaining security and accountability. Question 55. Which AWS service allows for file sharing between multiple Amazon EC2 instances? A. AWS Direct Connect. B. AWS Snowball Edge. C. AWS Backup. D. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. 55 ANS. The answer is D. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. Question 56. A company is running and managing its own Docker environment on Amazon EC2 instances. The company wants an alternative to help manage cluster size, scheduling, and environment maintenance. Which AWS service meets these requirements? A. AWS Lambda. B. Amazon RDS. C. AWS Fargate. D. Amazon Athena. The answer is C. AWS Fargate is a serverless compute engine for containers that works with both Amazon Elastic Container Service, ECS, and Elastic Kubernetes Service, EKS. It allows users to run containers without managing the underlying EC2 instances, making it a good option for managing cluster size, scheduling, and environment maintenance. Question 57. Which databases are available on Amazon RDS? Choose 2. A. Sybase. B. Microsoft SQL Server. C. IBM DB2. D. MongoDB. E. PostgreSQL. The answer is B and E. Amazon RDS supports a wide range of popular relational databases, including Amazon Aurora, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Oracle Database, and Microsoft SQL Server. Question 58. Which Amazon S3 feature or storage class uses the AWS Backbone Network and Edge locations to reduce latencies from the end user to Amazon S3? A. S3 Cross-Region Replication. B. S3 Transfer Acceleration. C. S3 Event Notifications. D. S3 Standard Infrequent Access, S3 Standard IA. The correct answer is B. Amazon S3 Transfer Acceleration uses the AWS Backbone Network, a globally distributed network of edge locations, to reduce the latency of uploading and downloading files to and from Amazon S3. It enables fast, easy, and secure transfers of files over long distances between your client and S3 bucket by using the AWS Global Network. Question 59. Which design principles of the AWS well-architected framework help increase reliability? Choose 2. A. Automatically recover from failure. B. Enable traceability. C. Scale horizontally to increase workload availability. D. Automate security best practices. E. Keep people away from data. The answer is A and C. Question 60. Management at a large company wants to avoid long-term contracts and is interested in AWS to move from fixed costs to variable costs. What is the value proposition of AWS for this company? A. Economy of scale. B. Pay-as-you-go pricing. C. Volume discounts. D. Cost optimization. The answer is B. Pay-as-you-go pricing. Question 61. Which AWS service should a company use to decouple large monolithic applications into smaller microservices components? A. AWS Direct Connect. B. Amazon Lightsail. C. Amazon Simple Queue Service, Amazon SQS. D. Amazon CloudWatch. The answer is C. Amazon Simple Queue Service, SQS, is a fully managed message queuing service that enables you to decouple and scale microservices, distributed systems, and serverless applications. SQS allows you to send, store, and receive messages between software components at any volume, without losing messages or requiring other services to be available. Question 62. A company's system administrator discovers that someone logged in to the company's AWS account during the weekend and terminated an Amazon EC2 instance. Which AWS service should the system administrator use to identify who made this change? A. Amazon Inspector. B. Amazon Pinpoint. C. AWS CloudTrail. D. AWS Trusted Advisor. The answer is C. The AWS service that the system administrator should use to identify who terminated an Amazon EC2 instance in their AWS account is AWS CloudTrail. Question 63. Which AWS service or tool lists all the users in an account and reports on the status of account details, including passwords, access keys, and multi-factor authentication (MFA) devices? A. AWS Shield. B. AWS Trusted Advisor. C. Amazon Inspector. D. IAM Credential Report. The answer is D. IAM Credential Report because this service provides a detailed report of all users and their respective security credentials in an AWS account, including password age, access key age, and whether MFA is enabled or not. This makes it easier for administrators to identify and manage potential security risks in the account. Question 64. Which AWS service offers threat detection and continuously monitors for malicious activity and unauthorized behavior in AWS accounts? A. Amazon Macie. B. AWS Config. C. Amazon GuardDuty. D. Amazon Inspector. Question 64. Which AWS service offers threat detection and continuously monitors for malicious activity and unauthorized behavior in AWS accounts? A. Amazon Macie. B. AWS Config. C. Amazon GuardDuty. D. Amazon Inspector. Question 65. A company wants to use Amazon S3 to store its legacy data. The data is rarely accessed. However, the data is critical and cannot be recreated. The data needs to be available for retrieval within seconds. Which S3 storage class meets these requirements most cost-effectively? A. S3 Standard. B. S3 Zone Infrequent Access, S3 Zone IA. C. S3 Standard Infrequent Access, S3 Standard IA. D. S3 Glacier. The answer is C. S3 Standard IA is designed for data that is accessed less frequently, but still requires immediate access when needed. This storage class offers the same low latency and high throughput performance as S3 Standard, but with a lower storage cost. It charges a lower fee for storage, but charges a retrieval fee when the data is accessed. Question 66. A user wants to control AWS services by using the AWS CLI. What are the minimum security credentials that the user needs to achieve this goal? A. AWS account username and password. B. Multi-factor authentication, MFA. C. Access keys. D. Key pairs. The answer is C. The minimum security credentials that a user needs to control AWS services by using the AWS CLI are access keys. Access keys consist of an access key ID and a secret access key, which are used to sign programmatic requests that the user makes to AWS services. To create access keys, the user must have an AWS account and an IAM user that the user can use to sign in to the AWS Management Console, and the user must also have permissions to create and manage access keys. Once the user has access keys, the user can configure the AWS CLI with them. And the user will be able to make programmatic requests to AWS services. Question 67. A company has stopped all of its Amazon EC2 instances, but monthly billing charges continue to occur. What could be causing this? Choose 2. A. Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS, storage charges. B. Operating system charges. C. Hardware charges. D. Elastic IP charges. E. Input, output, I/O charges. The answer is A and D. When a company stops an Amazon EC2 instances, the instance is no longer running and therefore no longer consuming CPU or memory resources. However, other resources that are associated with the instance continue to incur charges. One of the resources that may still incur charges even when the instances are stopped is Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS, storage charges. EBS storage is charged hourly and continue to incur charges as long as the data is stored. Another resource that may still incur charges is Elastic IP addresses. Elastic IP addresses are charged on an hourly basis even if you don't actively use them, and if you allocate an Elastic IP address but don't associate it with a running instance or a network interface, you'll incur charges for it. Question 68. A company has set up its IT infrastructure in the AWS cloud. The company wants to receive detailed reports that break down AWS costs by the hour. The reports must be placed in an Amazon S3 bucket. Which AWS tool will meet these requirements? A. AWS Cost and Usage Reports. B. AWS Pricing Calculator. C. Cost Explorer. D. AWS Budgets. The answer is A. AWS Cost and Usage Reports. This tool provides comprehensive reports that break down AWS costs by the hour and can be customized to include specific usage metrics. The reports can be delivered to an Amazon S3 bucket or to other destinations such as Amazon Redshift, Amazon QuickSight, or an email address. Question 69. Which AWS service or feature enables users to block the incoming or outgoing traffic associated with specific IP addresses flowing through a VPC? A. Network ACLs. B. Security groups. C. AWS Identity and Access Management, IAM. D. AWS WAF. The answer is A. Network ACLs. Question 70. What is the customer always responsible for managing, according to the AWS Shared Responsibility Model? A. Software licenses. B. Networking. C. Customer data. D. Encryption keys. The answer is C. Customer data. Question 71. Which reserved instance, RI, provides the highest average cost savings compared to an on-demand instance? A. 1 year, no upfront, standard RI. B. 1 year, all upfront, convertible RI. C. 3 year, all upfront, standard RI. D. 3 year, no upfront, convertible RI. The answer is C. 3 year, all upfront, standard RI. Question 72. Elasticity in the AWS cloud refers to which of the following? Choose 2. A. How quickly an Amazon EC2 instance can be restarted. B. The ability to right-size resources as demand shifts. C. The maximum amount of RAM an Amazon EC2 instance can use. D. The pay-as-you-go billing model. E. How easily resources can be procured when they are needed. The answer is B and E. Elasticity in the AWS cloud refers to the ability to quickly and easily scale resources up or down as demand shifts. It allows you to right-size resources such as Amazon EC2 instances and Amazon RDS-DB instances, to meet the needs of your applications. This means that you can automatically or manually increase or decrease the number of resources as needed, and also you can automatically or manually increase or decrease the size of resources. Question 73. A company has a set of e-commerce applications. The applications need to be able to send messages to each other. Which AWS service meets this requirement? A. AWS Auto-Scaling. B. Elastic load balancing. C. Amazon Simple Queue Service, Amazon SQS. D. Amazon Kinesis Data Streams. The answer is C. Amazon Simple Queue Service, SQS, lets you send, store, and receive messages. Question 74. A company wants to receive alerts when resources that are launched in the company's AWS account reach 79% of their service quotas. Which AWS service should the company use to meet this requirement? A. AWS CloudTrail. B. AWS Trusted Advisor. C. AWS Config. D. Amazon Inspector. The answer is B. Trusted Advisor then alerts you if your account reaches more than 80% of a service quota in any region. Question 75. Which pillar of the AWS well-architected framework is focused on the ability of a workload to perform its intended function correctly and consistently at the expected time? A. Performance efficiency. B. Operational excellence. C. Reliability. D. Security. The answer is D. Network Access Control List, ACL, allows or denies specific inbound or outbound traffic at the subnet level. Question 76. Which AWS tool acts as a firewall to control traffic in and out of subnets within a VPC? A. Security Group. B. Route Table. C. VPC Endpoint. D. Network Access Control List, ACL. The answer is D. A Network Access Control List, ACL, allows or denies specific inbound or outbound traffic at the subnet level. Question 77. A company is running a standard PostgreSQL database on premises. The company is migrating the database to the AWS cloud and does not want to change the queries that access the database. The company must maximize the query performance. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? A. Amazon RDS for PostgreSQL. B. Amazon Aurora PostgreSQL. C. Amazon DocumentDB, with MongoDB compatibility. D. Amazon DynamoDB. The answer is A. Amazon RDS for PostgreSQL is a fully managed database service that makes it easy to set up, operate, and scale PostgreSQL deployments in the cloud. It is designed to be compatible with existing PostgreSQL applications. So you can migrate your database to the cloud without changing your queries. Amazon RDS for PostgreSQL can also automatically scale the underlying hardware resources based on the workload, which can help maximize query performance. Question 78. A company needs to use machine learning and pattern matching to identify and protect sensitive data that the company stores in the AWS cloud. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? A. Amazon Inspector. B. Amazon Macie. C. Amazon GuardDuty. D. AWS Audit Manager. The answer is B. Amazon Macie discovers sensitive data using machine learning and pattern matching, provides visibility into data security risks, and enables automated protection against those risks. Question 79. A company wants to offer direct phone and chat channels for customer service. The company needs a pay-as-you-go solution that remote customer service agents can use to create and manage voice and chat contact flows. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? A. Amazon EventBridge, Amazon CloudWatch Events. B. Amazon Connect. C. Amazon Cognito. D. AWS Direct Connect. The answer is B. Amazon Connect is an omni-channel cloud contact center. You can set up a contact center in a few steps, add agents who are located anywhere, and start engaging with your customers. Question 80. A company has acquired several other companies. All the companies host their IT infrastructure in the AWS cloud. Which AWS service should the acquiring company use to centralize the account management? A. AWS Systems Manager. B. AWS Organizations. C. AWS Security Hub. D. Amazon Workspaces. The answer is B. AWS Organizations. Question 81. A company is using AWS for all its IT infrastructure. The company's developers are allowed to deploy applications on their own. The developers want to deploy their applications without having to provision the infrastructure themselves. Which AWS service should the developers use to meet these requirements? A. AWS CloudFormation. B. AWS Code Build. C. AWS Elastic Beanstalk. D. AWS Code Deploy. The answer is C. AWS Elastic Beanstalk. It is a fully managed service that provides developers with a platform to deploy, manage, and scale their applications without having to worry about the underlying infrastructure. With Elastic Beanstalk, developers can simply upload their application code and Elastic Beanstalk automatically handles the deployment, capacity provisioning, load balancing, and automatic scaling of the application. Question 82. A company needs to analyze its AWS cloud environment to determine whether the company is following security best practices. The company wants recommendations about how to close security gaps. Which AWS service should the company use to obtain these recommendations? A. AWS WAF. B. AWS Systems Manager. C. AWS Trusted Advisor. D. AWS Shield. The answer is C. AWS Trusted Advisor is a service that provides recommendations to optimize AWS infrastructure, improve security, reduce costs, and enhance performance. It uses best practices and guidelines to analyze your AWS environment and provides recommendations in several categories, including security, performance, cost optimization, and fault tolerance. Question 83. A company is using AWS Identity and Access Management, IAM. Who can manage the access keys of the AWS account root user? A. IAM users in the same account that have been granted permission. B. IAM roles in any account that have been granted permission. C. IAM users and roles that have been granted permission. D. The AWS account owner. The answer is D. The AWS account owner. Question 84. A company needs a managed NFS file system that the company can use with its AWS compute resources. Which AWS service or feature will meet these requirements? A. Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. B. AWS Storage Gateway Tape Gateway. C. Amazon S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval. D. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. The answer is D. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. Question 85. What is the security best practice concerning sensitive data stored in Amazon S3? A. Enable cross-region replication on the S3 bucket. B. Enable S3 server-side encryption on the S3 bucket. C. Configure AWS WAF to prevent unauthorized access to the S3 bucket. D. Configure Amazon Guard Duty to prevent unauthorized access to the S3 bucket. The answer is B. Enable S3 server-side encryption on the S3 bucket. This ensures that the data is encrypted at rest and can only be accessed by authorized parties with the appropriate decryption keys. Question 86. An application requires a database that offers consistent performance and latency that can be measured in single-digit milliseconds. Which AWS service meets these requirements? A. Amazon DynamoDB. B. Amazon RDS. C. Amazon Redshift. D. Amazon EMR. The answer is A. Amazon DynamoDB would be the best option in this scenario as it is a fully managed NoSQL database service that is designed to provide single-digit millisecond latency and consistent performance at scale. DynamoDB is also highly available, fault-tolerant, and can automatically scale up or down based on demand, making it a great choice for applications with variable workloads. Question 87. A company needs to block SQL injection attacks. Which AWS service or feature provides this functionality? A. AWS WAF. B. Network ACLs. C. Security groups. D. AWS Trusted Advisor. The answer is A. AWS WAF. Question 88. A company wants its Amazon EC2 instances to operate in a highly available environment, even if there is a natural disaster in a particular geographic area. Which solution achieves this goal? A. Use EC2 instances in a single availability zone. B. Use EC2 instances in multiple AWS regions. C. Use EC2 instances in multiple edge locations. D. Use Amazon CloudFront with the EC2 instances configured as the source. The answer is B. Using EC2 instances in multiple AWS regions ensures high availability even in the event of a natural disaster in a particular geographic area. If one region goes down due to a disaster, the instances in other regions will continue to function normally, providing uninterrupted service to customers. This solution provides a higher level of fault tolerance and disaster recovery capability, as compared to using EC2 instances in a single availability zone or multiple edge locations. Question 89. Treating infrastructure as code in the AWS cloud allows users to A. Automate migration of on-premises hardware to AWS data centers. B. Let a third party automate an audit of the AWS infrastructure. C. Turn over application code to AWS so it can run on the AWS infrastructure. D. Automate the infrastructure provisioning process. The answer is D. Automate the infrastructure provisioning process. Question 90. A company needs to apply security rules to specific Amazon EC2 instances. Which AWS service or feature provides this functionality? A. AWS WAF. B. Network ACLs. C. Amazon VPC. D. Security groups. The answer is D. Security groups are a fundamental feature of Amazon VPC that acts as a virtual firewall for EC2 instances. They enable you to control inbound and outbound traffic to your EC2 instances by defining rules that specify the allowed traffic source and destination. Security groups can be applied at the instance level to specific instances or to an entire group of instances that share a common set of security requirements. Question 91. A company wants to run Amazon EC2 instances in locations that are near the company's global users. Which aspect of the AWS environment will support this requirement? A. Availability zone. B. Edge locations. C. AWS regions. D. Regional edge caches. The answer is C. AWS regions are geographically dispersed locations where AWS infrastructure is available. Each region is designed to be isolated from other regions, so that you can run your applications and store your data in a location that is close to your global users. Question 92. A company's project team needs to simultaneously mount a file system on multiple Amazon EC2 Linux instances. The file system also will be shared across multiple availability zones. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? A. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. B. Amazon S3. C. Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. D. Amazon FSx for Windows File Server. Question 92. A company's project team needs to simultaneously mount a file system on multiple Amazon EC2 Linux instances. The file system also will be shared across multiple availability zones. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? A. Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. B. Amazon S3. C. Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. D. Amazon FSX for Windows File Server. Question 93. A large retail company wants to use an AWS service to process clickstream data from the company's e-commerce website. The company wants to collect and analyze the streaming data in real time. Which AWS service meets these requirements? A. Amazon Kinesis. B. Amazon Athena. C. Amazon CloudFront. D. AWS Data Exchange. The answer is A. Amazon Kinesis is a fully managed service that allows you to collect, process, and analyze streaming data in real time. This service can be used to process clickstream data from an e-commerce website in real time. Question 94. Which pillar of the AWS well-architected framework focuses on the return on investment of moving into the AWS cloud? A. Sustainability. B. Cost optimization. C. Operational excellence. D. Reliability. The answer is B. Cost optimization, focuses on the return on investment of moving into the AWS cloud. Question 95. A company is developing an application that the company will host on Amazon EC2 instances. The application must be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The company needs a scalable, highly available cloud architecture to support the application. Which guidelines should the company apply in its design to meet these requirements? Choose 2. A. Use EC2 spot instances. B. Use multi-AZ deployments. C. Use auto-scaling groups. D. Use AWS backup. E. Use EC2 reserved instances. The answer is B. Use multi-AZ deployments, allow the company to run the application across multiple availability zones within a region. This provides high availability and automatic failover in the event of a failure in one availability zone. And C. Use auto-scaling groups, allow the company to automatically add or remove Amazon EC2 instances based on the demand for the application, which is important for ensuring high availability and scalability. Question 96. Which AWS service helps users audit API activity across their AWS account? A. AWS CloudTrail. B. Amazon Inspector. C. AWS WAF. D. AWS Config. The answer is A. CloudTrail enables auditing, security monitoring, and operational troubleshooting by tracking user activity and API usage. CloudTrail logs, continuously monitors, and retains account activity related to actions across your AWS infrastructure, giving you control over storage, analysis, and remediation actions. Question 97. Which AWS service should a company use to create a serverless workflow? A. Amazon Connect. B. AWS Lambda. C. AWS Step Functions. D. Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. E. AWS Code Build. The answer is C. AWS Step Functions is a fully managed service that allows a company to create and visualize serverless workflows. It is built on top of AWS Lambda. Question 98. A company wants to build a data analytics application that uses Amazon Redshift. The company needs a cost estimate for its future Amazon Redshift usage. Which AWS tool will provide a high-level cost estimation? A. AWS Budgets. B. AWS Pricing Calculator. C. AWS Cost Explorer. D. Saving Plans. The answer is B. AWS Pricing Calculator. Question 99. A company is using Amazon EC2 instances. Which tasks are the company's responsibility, according to the AWS Shared Responsibility Model? Choose 2. A. Choose the initial root password of new Linux instances. B. Identify which users can access the EC2 instances and manage their permissions in the operating system. C. Apply the updates of the hypervisor where the EC2 instances are running. D. Choose between a Wi-Fi connection and an Ethernet connection for the global Internet access. E. Identify and manage the users who are allowed to create or delete EC2 instances. The answer is B. Identifying which users can access the EC2 instances, and managing their permissions in the operating system. And E. Identifying and managing the users who are allowed to create or delete EC2 instances. Question 100. Which AWS service gives users the ability to run AWS services on premises? A. Amazon CloudFront. B. AWS Outposts. C. AWS Global Accelerator. D. Amazon VPC. The answer is B. Outpost is a pool of AWS compute and storage capacity deployed at a customer site. AWS operates, monitors, and manages this capacity as part of an AWS region. You can create subnets on your outpost and specify them when you create AWS resources such as EC2 instances, EBS volumes, ECS clusters, and RDS instances. Thank you all for joining me today on this cloud certification exam prep journey. I hope you found the practice questions and explanations valuable in enhancing your understanding of the AWS Certified Solutions Architect exam. Remember, preparing for a cloud certification is a marathon, not a sprint. Take your time to grasp the core concepts, practice regularly, and stay persistent. With dedication and the right resources, you can achieve your certification goals. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue your cloud certification exam preparation, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button if you found this video helpful, and share it with anyone else who might benefit from it. Now, go out there and crush those cloud certification exams. Remember, with determination and the knowledge you've gained, you've got this.